In 1967, the United States Supreme Court issued a landmark decision in Pierson v. Ray that would shape the landscape of civil rights litigation for decades to come. The case addressed critical questions surrounding 42 U.S. Section 1983, a federal statute enacted during Reconstruction to provide remedies against state actors who violate constitutional rights. At the heart of Pierson v. Ray was the arrest of 15 Episcopal clergymen, both black and white, who sought to integrate a segregated bus terminal in Jackson, Mississippi. In 1961, they were arrested under a local breach of the peace statute and convicted by a municipal judge. Several of the clergymen subsequently brought a lawsuit under Section 1983 against the police officers and the judge who had presided over their case, arguing that their constitutional rights had been violated. The Supreme Court faced two pivotal issues. First, could a municipal judge be held liable under Section 1983 for actions taken during the course of a judicial proceeding? Second, could police officers be held liable if they made arrests later deemed unconstitutional? In answering these questions, the court drew heavily from common law principles. It held that judges enjoy absolute immunity from civil suits for acts taken within their judicial jurisdiction, even if those acts are later found to be erroneous or unconstitutional. The reasoning was grounded in a centuries-old concern that the independence of the judiciary could be compromised if judges feared personal liability for their rulings. More controversially, the court also introduced a qualified immunity defense for police officers. It ruled that officers could not be held liable under Section 1983 if they acted in good faith and with probable cause, even if it was later determined that the arrest violated the Constitution. This marked the beginning of a major legal doctrine that would evolve significantly over the next half-century. Importantly, the court rejected the argument that the clergymen had somehow consented to their arrest simply by walking into a known segregationist environment. This reaffirmed the principle that constitutional rights cannot be waived through mere conduct or expectation. The implications of Pierson v. Ray have been profound. The decision laid the groundwork for what would become the modern doctrine of qualified immunity, a legal shield that has since expanded to protect government officials, not just police, from civil liability unless their conduct violates clearly established law. Critics argue that this doctrine has deviated from the original intent of Section 1983. Congress enacted the statute specifically to deter abuses by state actors and to ensure redress for victims of constitutional violations. However, judicial interpretation has often prioritized the protection of officials over accountability, creating what many see as an insurmountable barrier to justice in civil rights cases. The absolute immunity granted to judges and the qualified immunity extended to law enforcement have both come under intense scrutiny. Scholars and civil rights advocates contend that these doctrines undermine public trust and allow officials to act with impunity. Several justices in recent years have also signaled a willingness to revisit or recalibrate qualified immunity, though the court has yet to overturn or significantly revise the doctrine. In retrospect, Pierson v. Ray was more than just a case about a single civil rights protest. It was a turning point that embedded powerful legal immunities into the framework of constitutional enforcement. Understanding this case is essential for anyone examining the intersection of civil liberties, police accountability, and judicial power in American law.